This month, students are speaking out for those who might not be able to. Find out how students are raising awareness for those with disabilities.
And threats on the Jewish community continue. I'll tell you what one Ball State association has to say about the issue.
And snow showers are beginning to work their way out of central Indiana. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jenna Liston.
And I'm Logan Rivera. Thank you for joining us.
Well, Logan, coming back from spring break, nice warm weather. I see you got a little tan and pink on your nose there.
Oh, I certainly do. It was not fun getting back into Indianapolis with shorts and a t-shirt on last night, Jenna.
Right.
Cody, what can you tell us with the weather right now?
Well, guys, I can tell you it is pretty cold out there. We're still seeing some snow showers across much of central Indiana. Right now, you'll see that we do have another band of snow showers that is beginning to work its way into central Indiana. And if we zoom in here a little closer to home, you'll see that we are seeing those snow showers entering into east central Indiana and into portions of Muncie. But the winter weather advisory has been allowed to expire. Right now, Assistant Chief Weather Forecaster Kaylee Pluchel is outside right now with a live look at what's happening. Kaylee, what's going on out there?
Good evening, guys. Yeah, we're here live in Muncie as we're still seeing some light snow falling. That's reducing visibility down to about 2.5 miles here. So definitely take caution if you're traveling anywhere tonight. We're also seeing it stick to sidewalks and starting to stick to the roads, which could be a problem as we go into your morning commute where this could freeze over and could cause some troubles in the morning. So definitely be aware of that. You're definitely going to need the ice scraper, and we're going to continue to see these snowy conditions throughout the evening. Live in Muncie, I'm Kaylee Pluchel.
Thank you, Kaylee, for that update. Coming up in my full weather forecast, I'll be talking about when the snow is expected to move out, when more snow is expected to return, and when warmer temperatures are set to return to central Indiana.
Thank you so much, Cody. And following that cold weather update, classes were canceled today for Sutton Elementary School students due to an issue with the building's heating system. This is the third time in 2 years that a Muncie community school was forced to close because of temperatures dropped below the required 68 degrees. MCS designated $9.3 million for building repairs from a general obligation bond received in 2014. And during the last board meeting, it was announced that money has been spent on general operations instead. The most recent SSC report predicts the district will need $52 million in building repairs by 2026.
Heating issues are part of an ongoing problem in Muncie Community Schools. The district is facing a $4.6 million deficit. The latest developments include a sudden resignation and no new deal. The district's chief financial officer, Bruce Perry, resigned suddenly last week. The school board and Teachers Association have been negotiating on a new teacher contract but could not reach an agreement. Last week, both parties met with a state-appointed fact finder to present their final offers. After nearly 5 hours, the meeting concluded with the fact finder noting the two sides appear to be operating with different data on the financial situation. Some are blaming the state government for declining state funds, and others blame the school board for poor financial planning. The state has until late April to choose a proposal.
President Donald Trump and the House Speaker Paul Ryan are pushing legislation that would repeal key aspects of the Affordable Care Act. But the Congressional Budget Office released its best guess in its official score of the legislation, and some of the numbers are quite large. CNN has more.
Tonight, the White House and Republican leaders are assessing the impact of the explosive report from the Congressional Budget Office. The new analysis from the nonpartisan CBO estimates that in 2018, 14 million more people would be uninsured under the legislation than under current law, and then a staggering 24 million in 2026. The CBO also predicts the legislation would reduce federal deficits by $337 billion over the 2017 to 2026 period. This morning, the White House was scrambling to get ahead of the report.
So the press is making it look so wonderful, so that if we end it, everyone's going to say, oh, remember how great Obamacare used to be.
The system is failing on its own. It makes it seem like it's all rainbows and puppies. At the end of the day, if you have a card and you're getting a subsidy, but you're not getting care, you have nothing.
Republican leadership on Capitol Hill already being hit by a rebellion within their own party.
I'm not prepared to vote for it is right now, and I think we can do better.
Are already readying for this additional blow, acknowledging the CBO would likely report back that millions under their plan would lose their coverage.
The one thing I'm certain will happen is CBO will say, well, gosh, not as many people will get coverage. You know why? Because this isn't a government mandate.
Arguing that people would be making their own choice under their plan, that it's not about coverage numbers, but access.
How many people are going to lose coverage under this new?
I can't answer that question. It's up to people.
This as backers of the plan continue to fire preemptive shots at the nonpartisan CBO for doing its job.
In the past, the CBO score has really been meaningless.
I love the folks at the CBO. They work really hard. They do, but sometimes we ask them to do stuff they're not capable of doing. And estimating the impact of a bill of this size probably isn't the best use of their time.
Meantime, new promises.
I firmly believe that nobody will be worse off financially in the process that we're going through.
And old ones could come back to haunt the White House in the face of the new analysis.
The new plan is good. It's going to be inexpensive. It's going to be much better for the people. But there's going to be a group of people at the bottom, people that haven't done well, people that don't have any money. That's called heart. We've got to take care of people that can't take care of themselves.
And now, new warning shots from members of the president's own party from the other side of Capitol Hill.
I would say to my friends in the House of Representatives, with whom I think and vote for a bill that cannot pass the Senate and then have to face the consequences of that vote.
And with this plan, the president will begin pushing this on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, the House Budget Committee will begin making up their part of the bill, the last step before it reaches the House floor.
Jewish centers and cemeteries have been facing numerous threats this year, as over 100 have been reported since January. NewsLink Indiana's Esther Bauer has an update on how these threats have affected students right here at Ball State.
That's right, Logan. Now, just yesterday, another threat was made to the Jewish Community Center in Indianapolis. While there was no bomb found or immediate danger discovered, this was the second threat made to the center in just a few weeks. Those inside were forced to evacuate and the center was temporarily closed. While Muncie is not home to any Jewish community centers, Ball State is home to many Jewish students. Some are involved in Hillel, which is a student group committed to showcasing the Jewish culture. One member, Adina Stolman, says while these threats haven't been in Muncie, they've still hit close to home. Her family is buried in the Heshed Shel Emuth Cemetery in St. Louis, and her family's gravestones were vandalized.
My family's buried there. My great-great-grandparents are buried there. So that's really personal for me, and we had family oh my gosh, their gravestones desecrated, and it was really nerve-wracking to have it hit so close to home.
Now, even though this attack brought pain to Stolman, she felt support from the Muslims in the community. Many Muslim groups in the area contributed resources to help restore the damaged cemetery. For Stolman, this kind of support from a group that has also been targeted recently shows just the kind of unity needed to combat these acts of violence. Live in the newsroom, Esther Bauer, NewsLink Indiana.
Thank you very much, Esther. Coming up, a local hair salon is using the upcoming holiday to support a good cause.
And find out why seats in your classrooms may be empty. All this and more after the break.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Well, Logan, over the weekend, Ball State's debate team added some hardware to their collection.
That's right, Jenna. The team traveled to Anderson University March 10th and 11th to compete in the National Debate Tournament. Ball State won that tournament for a second year in a row.
And pictured on the screen is NewsLink's very own production manager, Evan Like, alongside Roshni Brahmbot. Other individual winners included Abigail Gibbs, Morgan Johnson, and Quentin Thompson, who took home the All-American Debater Award.
The team is coached by faculty Michael Bauer and Dallas Pike, with the help of graduate students Dakota Wapes, William Sipe, and Maggie Parson.
Today, Ball State students returned to campus for their first day of classes after spring break. However, many simply do not feel ready for that return. And some notice that campus seems a little more dull than usual. Class attendance is relatively normal in the physical state, but surprisingly, amount of students are still mentally away from school. In an online survey conducted by NewsLink Indiana, 300 students gave their responses. 32% of students felt like they were still mentally on spring break. Another 10% said they were checked out for the semester. Here's what BSU's instructor Terry Heifetz saw in the class today.
I was pretty lucky in that most people showed up to class, but you could definitely tell people are still on spring break. I'm still on spring break in some ways. I'll be honest, was today my best day in the classroom? Nah, probably not, because we're all still kind of in that mode. It takes some time to get back into the swing of things once break is over.
And while Heifetz felt like many of his students weren't mentally there, he believes that things will be back to normal by Wednesday.
This month, students are speaking out for those who might not be able to. NewsLink Indiana's Mary Eber has the story.
The Alliance for Disability Awareness and the Disability Services Office are putting on a month of events to celebrate. The Governor's Council for People with Disabilities chooses the theme every year. Courtney Jarrett, who is the Associate Director of Disability Services, explains the significance of this year's theme, I'm Not Your Inspiration.
The people with disabilities on campus are really not their inspiration. You know, they're their friends and coworkers and family members and everyday folks.
Jarrett says 90% of the 900 students that the office works with have non-apparent disabilities.
There are plenty of students that we're all friends with and work with all the time that are registered with us that you wouldn't have any idea because it's very integrated into society.
Jarrett hopes the activities planned for this month will allow students to learn more about disabilities and the people who have them. One of the activities is called Goal Ball. In this game, 3 people on each end of the court defend one goal using only their bodies. The participants' biggest challenge is having to base their movements off the sound of the ball while wearing eye shades. Ball State student Luke Reisterer is a frequent participant in these events.
Instead of just like basketball or soccer, now you're seeing like the disability activities that you can do. So you're getting to expose to a different world, getting to see what people who have disabilities and handicaps and stuff like that go through and can still do.
This month's objective, as stated by the Governor's Council, is to increase awareness and promote independence, integration, and inclusion of all people with disabilities. In Muncie, Mary Eber, NewsLink, Indiana.
To learn more about similar events happening on campus, you can visit the Disability Services homepage on Ball State's website or call their office at 765-285-5293. A local hair salon is going green for St. Patrick's Day.
NewsLink Indiana's Samantha Emerson has the story.
Chameleon Salon owner Chris Decides discussed why she loves incorporating fundraising into hairdressing.
I've owned this salon for 9 years, and for 7 I've been doing that. I did a few other events where I went to the women's shelter and the men's shelter and done haircuts for free, and I've been in the mall where I've snagged people and said, hey, you need a makeover, let me take care of you. And I've met some of the most wonderful people that never would have taken the time or money to do it themselves, but And that was like really rewarding.
In addition to working with breast cancer awareness and St. Baldrick's, Sides plans to work with Little Wish.
So I think I'm going to start something up for them and probably do maybe multicolored pops or something. But yeah, I've got a few other things in the works.
Stylist Kayla Butler is looking to add color to her hair this Friday.
I just had purples and pinks in my hair. Who knows? I might add some green in there on Friday.
In Muncie, NewsLink, Indiana, I'm Samantha Ayersman.
The event will be held this Friday from noon to 6 p.m. at the salon, and for more information you can visit their Facebook page.
Well, hopefully the weather will be a little brighter on Friday for St. Patrick's Day. Cody, what can we expect coming up?
Well, I don't know about that, guys, but another round of snow is on the way. I'll have all that and more coming up after the break.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league? Nah, just my 401k statement. Nice. Where'd you find the money for that? I just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Hi there, and welcome back to NewsLink, Indiana. With it being so cold outside, Jenna, I'm really nervous to see what Cody has to say about the weather.
I know, he kind of mentioned a little bit about not so good weather for Friday, St. Patrick's Day. Cody, come on, let us know the good news. Is there any?
Well, guys, I can't really make too many promises about Friday. Right now, we are still seeing some snow out there. If we take a look right now at the intersection of McKinley and Riverside, you'll see the traffic is getting along just fine through this intersection. We do see some snow in some of those grassy areas, but I don't think that we're going to see any problems with travel through the overnight hours. Currently, we're sitting at 27 degrees here in Muncie. It only feels like it's 18 with those northeast winds coming in at 9 miles per hour. It's making it feel a bit more chilly out there. And if we take a look at our current temperatures across the state, Muncie, you're sitting at 27 degrees. The Circle City is currently sitting at 29, and Terre Haute, you have dropped down to 31 degrees right now. Now, taking a look at the last 3 hours on radar, you will see that a lot of those snow showers now are beginning to taper off, and they are beginning to work their way off to the east, so I don't think that we're going to see too many problems with those snow showers. Overnight tonight, we're going to go down to 21 degrees with some cloudy skies. Our winds are going to be coming in from the north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, so it's going to get pretty chilly out there, guys. Now, picking up Precision Cast, you will see that around 5 or 6 p.m., as you're making it home from work tomorrow afternoon, we could see some lake effect snow coming across parts of Lake Michigan, and that could affect your commute home tomorrow afternoon. So for tomorrow, you can expect a high of 28 degrees. It's going to be mostly cloudy out there. Some lake effect snow is possible. It's going to be a bit spotty, but you can expect that with some north winds coming in at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, picking up Precision Cast again, you'll see that we are going to remain fairly clear for much of the day on Wednesday and Thursday, which is going to allow for sunny conditions, and I think that our temperatures are going to warm up a bit as well. Now, taking a look at your 7-day forecast, guys, for your day on Wednesday, we're going to get up to 29 degrees, 39 by the time we get to Thursday. For your St. Patrick's Day, though, it does look like it is going to be Messy out there, guys. We're going to see some snow transitioning to rain. And by the time we get to the weekend and early part of next week, temperatures get back up into the upper 40s and lower 50s.
A whopping 29 degrees, Cody. What a bang coming back.
I know.
From
I can't control
spring
the weather, guys. I'm sorry.
We depend on you, Cody. Obviously, when we come back.
It's all on your shoulders.
I know.
Well, at least it looks like people aren't going to be eating popsicles on St. Patrick's Day.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And I mean, taking over to sports, Peter Hood's here.
I'm here.
How are you doing tonight?
I have better news than he does. So
Oh,
that's good.
That's
good. It's warm inside the gyms, and obviously NCAA tournament time. Very exciting for sports fans. No NCAA tournament for the basketball teams at Ball State, but they will play on. Find out where they're headed. And football, folks, it's right around the corner. We have full details on where you can watch spring practice and win next in sports.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Well, after disappointing losses in their conference tournaments, both basketball teams at Ball State will leave their dancing shoes in the closet this year. No NCAA tournament for the men or the women, but both still have an opportunity to end their seasons on a high note. For the men, it comes in the form of the collegeinsider.com tournament, also known as the CIT. Mid-majors from all over the country will compete. This will be the second straight year the Cardinals have made an appearance in this tournament. It was announced yesterday that they'll square off with I-69 rival Fort Wayne on Wednesday in the first round. Future opponents will be determined based off of geographic proximity. James Whitford told the Star Press yesterday this tournament will give his team a chance to grow as they continue to chase a berth in that big tournament.
To me, the two prizes that I crave are a conference championship and a conference tournament championship, and I think they're equally meaningful. The second one probably has a bigger prize in the NCAA tournament, but the first one's harder to do, and to me, really, really significant.
Meanwhile, it was announced just moments ago the women are NIT bound for the 5th straight season. After another MAC tournament heartbreak, the Cardinals were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Buffalo. The women's NCAA field was announced earlier tonight, and as expected, conference tournament winner Toledo was the only team that made the cut. But Ball State head coach Brady Sallee isn't buying that this mid-major is a one-bid league. Take a listen to this.
We have the same amount of top 100 teams that the Big East, that the American Athletic. We only have one less than the Big 12. Top 100s. So don't tell me that coming through this league you're not getting quality wins, you're not playing good. I mean, are you kidding me right now? There's some of those teams in those leagues I just mentioned, they'd be a bottom half team in this league. But the committee needs to see that. They need to quit going off history. They need to keep going, well, the MAC is just a one big league. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Brady Sallee wants some respect on the Mac's name. We are currently waiting to see when and where the women will play in the first round of the NIT. Okay, meanwhile, it may not feel like spring outside, but spring football is here. The Ball State football team will take the field at Schumann Stadium on Thursday for its first official practice of 2017. The Cardinals released their full spring practice schedule over the weekend. They were scheduled to get started actually tomorrow, but due to the cold temperatures, the first practice was pushed back to Thursday. From then on, the Cardinals are set to practice every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning up until April 15th and the spring game. All practices are free and open to the public. We'll have a full spring preview later on this week on NewsLink. So guys, basketball, obviously, March Madness in full swing, and hard to believe, but football is right around the corner, just a few months away.
I know, and with your, sorry to bring it up, Peter, but graduation's coming up for you too.
It is.
Are you excited to be covering your last 2 games of football starting April 15th?
Absolutely. It'll be bittersweet seeing that last spring football game.
Yeah, awesome. We can't wait to be there with you too.
Coming up, America's Got Talent is getting a new host.
And a popular DreamWorks film will hit the build stages this year. Your entertainment news is next.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back. I'm Felicia Donaldson with your entertainment news. America's Got Talent will be getting a new host. Last month, Nick Cannon announced that he will not be returning to the show. He decided to leave during controversy over a racially charged joke he made during his stand-up special. Yesterday, Howie Mandel announced on social media that Tyra Banks will star as the new host. The supermodel confirmed the announcement with a tweet. Banks says she hopes to connect with dreamers. She even said she will try to get some to Smize for viewers. She will now host the 12th season of the show. Game of Thrones will be coming to an end. HBO's fantasy series will have only 13 episodes left. The 7th season will contain 7 episodes. The 8th season will have 6. Both seasons are the shorter of the entire series. A typical season contains 10 episodes. Showrunners announced this and more news at the South by Southwest Festival. Ed Sheeran will join the show in this upcoming season, and Harry Potter actor Jim Broadbent will also join the team. Expect to see Game of Thrones on July 16th. A new production will be coming to Ball State's theater department this spring. Shrek the Musical will be playing at University Theater from March 31st to April 8th. The play will be co-directed by Ball State's Bill Jenkins and Sutton Foster, who played Fiona in Shrek on Broadway. The musical will be fun and for all ages, and it teaches us that beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. To order tickets for the show, visit www.tix.com. That's all for your entertainment news. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Felicia. So, Cody, let's take one last glimpse of weather. What can you tell us?
Well, guys, it's going to be cold the next couple of days. We're looking at the possibility for some snow on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we clear things out. But for St. Patrick's Day, we could see a mix of precipitation. But by the time we get to the early part of next week, guys, the temperatures are going to get back into the lower 50s. So it shouldn't be too bad out there.
Very exciting. I'm very happy for warmer weather, of course. Always a plus. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana, but be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. From all of us here at the studio, have a good night.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.